everyone, welcome to another live stream video. Sorry again that it's taken me so long. I know you guys are probably getting tired of me saying that, but you know, ooh, Beyond Light. Don't I have it? Yeah. Um, but like I said, a lot of things has been happening recently, so I haven't been able to do any of my live streams or anything. But good news is I am soon going to be on my vacation for my job. So it'll be for 2 weeks. And that means I'll be able to have a lot of time to live stream for you guys. So anyways, getting on with the discussion for today. This discussion topic is titled the PlayStation 5 Discussion. Now, what I will be talking about is things I have heard recently and what I will be, the games I've already checked out, what's coming out, um, and what games I will be getting once I get the PS5 and what the price I think is going to be ranged from. So, with that being said, let's, while we are doing this, while we are doing the discussion topic, I will be playing Destiny 2. Um, just in case you guys don't know what Destiny 2 is, Destiny 2 is a free online to play game. It's free. It's been free for a long time. It's basically It's basically Halo, but for PlayStation. Um, and to do other different missions, all you would really have to do is go and play the go buy the um, Forbidden. I think it's Forbidden. It's maybe something else. Don't quote me on it. But it was on a um, discount, but I don't know if the discount's still there, or if it is, you can go check it out. Um, but yeah, I think it's pretty worth it. I spent it, so I got basically Forsaken and something else. I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, it comes with 2 DLCs, and you guys can go and do that. So with that all being said, let's start with the discussion. PS5. Yes, we finally have got what the PS5 is going to look like. We got how much power it's going to get. So far, anyways, I still feel like Sony is not giving us the full details of how powerful the PlayStation 5 is. But we got a lot of information about it. Like I said, we got the beta of what the PlayStation 5 is going to look like. It might change. It obviously has time to change its the way it looks. But as of right now, what we have been getting pictures of what it looks like is what it's going to look like. With the PlayStation 5, it is going to be giving us basically no buffering times, is what I'm hearing. What I'm also hearing is that the fact that we are not going to have to worry about these load screens. These load screens of waiting for how many ever seconds to hours or to minutes. We will not have to be worrying about that anymore due to the fact that the PlayStation 5 is going to be running at so high power that it's all going to be done in the instant you start the game, is what I'm hearing. Another thing of what I am hearing from the PlayStation, from Sony, is that with PlayStation 5 being what it's going to be, we already are going to be having a couple games linked up. Well, not linked up, but we are going to be having a couple games already being released with the game. So we have that. Um, Another thing we have coming up to it is obviously going to look and say, we obviously are going to be having two different versions of the PS5. One of the PS5, one version of the PS5 is going to be um, digitally. That means all the games that you will be buying for the PlayStation are going to be a digital, are just going to be digitally downloaded, or you can buy the disc version for the PS5. Now, whether that's true or not, that well, it's obviously true because, I mean, obviously Sony already confirmed that that was the case, so we don't really have that much to worry about. Now, the price of the PS5 has been quiet recently. It's been to the point where nobody really knows exactly how much the PS5 is going to be. But thanks to a recent claim on the internet that I have recently heard, and so far it has not been denied, and yes, you can also say it has not been confirmed yet, but let's be completely honest here. If if they haven't denied it yet and everyone has seen it, I'm pretty sure it is a confirmed situation. Digitally, the PlayStation 5 is said to be coming out for $399. So basically 400. So pretty much $400. And the disc version for the PS5 is said to be for $499. So basically $500. And another thing I have recently heard about it too is that apparently the PS5 sorry. Sorry, I had sorry. Anyways, other than that, the other thing that we have recently heard about the PS5 is that with these new recent games going to be coming out, we have learned that there are going to be a couple games that are going to be PlayStation exclusives. Now, let's go on to those games then, shall we? One of the games that were announced that looks like it's going to be a PlayStation exclusive is going to be the Ratchet and Clank. If you guys have not learned about Ratchet and Clank, first of all, I'm kind of disappointed in you guys because Ratchet and Clank is one of the best games I've ever played. If Spider-Man wasn't a thing and I didn't like Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank would by far be my favorite video game character. But to Ratchet and Clank's disappointment, Spider-Man was a thing. I grew up with Spider-Man more than I did with Ratchet and Clank, which is not really a bad thing to say, due to the fact that both of these characters have so many good stories. So it's not really disappointing to say, but I will still say that Ratchet and Clank is definitely my second favorite character. Now, with Ratchet and Clank being the great game that it was, I will give you guys a little information. Ratchet and Clank is a PlayStation 2, pretty much an exclusive PlayStation 2 game. That there was this Lumbax named Ratchet on a planet of Velden. That is where he was raised. In his story, he once was a kid, like everybody, and this race called the Kragmites were in war with the Lumbaxes. The Lumbaxes uh, were these things that were kind of protectors of the world. Kinda, eh. Um, but they waged war with the Kragmites waged war with the Lumbaxes, and eventually, the Lumbaxes made the Dimensionator, um, which basically ended the Great War and froze the planet, froze the Kragmites into their own dimension. With the Lumbaxes missing one, um, the Lumbaxes finding one of the last remaining Kragmites, he eventually did the same thing to the Lumbaxes, and Ratchet was alone in the universe. Ratchet is like I said, Ratchet is a Lumbax that he's great with fixing things, even though he can be a little energetic and make mistakes. Um, and with everything going on, he always dreamt about going off to explore the universe. Without an onboard ignition system for his ship, he could not do that. But thanks to the thanks to a manufacturing plant having a systematic error, they made Clank, which Clank will then have his story explained, a little robot with having the ability to start any ship that he wanted, and he met Ratchet, and that is how he got his name Clank. His real name is basically a model number. What was it? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember his actual name other than Clank, but otherwise, anyways, other than that, he started working with Ratchet, and then they became the bestest of friends. Not instantly, obviously, because Clank has some baggage too, that he is a perfectionist, he is a number guy, he's always, trying to say, oh, odds are surviving this, odds are surviving that. But anyways, they've had a long road of games. So, with this new game being on the PlayStation 5, it is Ratchet and Clank Shadow Rift, I think it is. And it is basically them traveling into a lot of space rips that are ripping through the universe, basically. And it is getting very, very out of control. So, the trailer, it's out on YouTube right now. You guys can search it up. The only thing that was, and the only ending to the Ratchet and Clank trailer was that we got to see a female Ratchet. Now, whether that's actually her name is pretty unlikely.
Moving toward us.
Toward us. But otherwise, it looks like Ratchet will be turning into a girl, which I'm not gonna say anything about that because that's kind of stuff I don't want to touch, but we'll see how that goes. But yep, that is one of the games that I will definitely be getting because, like I said in the beginning, I love Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank has been my favorite game ever since I was little, so it is definitely going to be a game that I am going to be getting. second game that we have heard about is going to be, drumroll, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now, with Spider-Man, obviously, if you guys know me, as many of my friends do, you guys already know I'm definitely getting this Spider-Man game. There's no doubt about it because of how much, and like I said, if you guys know who I really am, you know me personally, you already know, everyone's gonna already figure out that I'm getting the Spider-Man game. I mean, and just like I told you guys in the beginning of the video, I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's been my favorite character ever since I was little. So, with that being the case, them saying that Spider-Man's going to be released for the PS5, that's a huge win for me. Not to also mention, this is also a PlayStation exclusive game. Now, with Spider-Man Miles Morales, it is obviously taking place of the around the aftermath of the Spider-Man game. It has not yet been confirmed that we are going to be getting a Spider-Man and Miles Morales team up in the game. It looks like it's going to just be a standalone Miles Morales game. If that's the case, that's not exactly bad for anybody, due to the fact that this will be the first game that Miles Morales will actually be getting his own personal game. We've never even had Miles Morales in any of the Spider-Man games that have been out. Not even Spider-Man Edge of Time didn't have him. Shattered Dimensions didn't even have him. None of the games have ever spoken of Miles Morales, even shown him, except for the latest Spider-Man game. So having this game as a standalone Spider-Man is not a bad thing at all, due to the fact that a lot of people like Miles Morales. My opinion on Miles Morales is he is an okay Spider-Man. I do not personally see him being the best Spider-Man or being better than the original Spider-Man, but he is a good Spider-Man, and I have seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, and that has by far been my second favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. Even if I am going with real life movies, because this one was like technically the first animated Spider-Man movie. So realistically, it's my favorite Spider-Man movie that was animated, but it has basically almost beaten every Spider-Man movie I have seen. But yeah, anyways, like I said before, this Spider-Man is going to be a Miles Morales storyline. He is going to be, it is going to be taking place after the Spider-Man game, since that's when Miles Morales finds out he has his powers. We don't know yet who all the villains are going to be, and what all the costumes that this Spider-Man game is going to be giving us. We are going to think, I am going to personally look at maybe saying that that maybe we might be getting the different costumes, and I'm thinking if that is the case, I really do think that we might need to do what was it called? We might have to do we might be able to have different costumes. Like I don't know exactly what kind of costumes we might be seeing, but let's hope we are going to be able to see a lot of different costumes. Now, with that being said, there is one more game so far that I have been paying attention to and that I actually like. Hold on, sorry guys. Huh. Anyways, um, one of the last, um, one of the last games that I will be really looking forward to playing is Resident Evil. Um, Resident Evil, I believe it's called The Village. With Resident Evil, being the best game I've ever played for a good long while. Um, Resident Evil, like I said personally, has been by far one of my favorite games that I've ever played in a good long while. Resident Evil was a game that is basically dealing with zombies. This evil place called Umbrella decided to make this virus that was basically called the T virus, the G virus. There's many different names for all different kinds of viruses. And one guy was stupid enough, and this is the movie. It's the movie storyline I'm going with first. He decided to throw a T virus capsule onto the floor on next to a desk, breaking it and causing a infestate and causing a virus into the world, into the what's it called, into the company, and eventually it does get out and basically ends the world in the movies. In the games, it's been thrown different ways to exactly what caused the T virus for them to get out. Basically, just different reasons, different people making new viruses and all this other stuff. So their storyline is convoluted a little bit. But this game is going to be played for the events that happened in Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. This game is going to be a continuation of that. We are going to be getting a character that a lot of people know about, and we are going to be able to play as Chris Redfield. Which, if you guys remember my my one of my earlier discussion topics about what I thought about with the Resident Evil franchise. and where were we gonna go after Resident Evil 7. I believe I told you that that I think we are going to be getting a Chris Redfield introduction, since technically in his defense, even though he did get a DLC to be played as, a lot of people didn't really try to what's that word I really want to specifically say, unless you didn't really try to buy the DLC, it wasn't really something to be like, oh, everybody's going to play Chris. So I did say that we were going to be getting a Chris Redfield story, and I was right. Um, Now, with this all being said, so far the Resident Evil game and Spider-Man and Ratchet and Clank have not yet gotten a full-on confirmed release date, but with that being said, it is a confirmed result that once the PS5 is coming out, we will be expecting at least at least either 2 or 3 of these games to be out for the PlayStation. Now, which games will that be, you might ask? I have no idea. So far, we have not yet gotten any confirmed results about um, where, um, when, like exactly what point in time these games are going to be released. But the moment that they get released, you can expect me to make a video about that said game and about those said games, due to the fact that I am staying on the PlayStation. I'm not going to Xbox anytime soon, which I never have and I most likely never will. What the hell is that? So yeah. So once they decide to release the game, I will definitely be making sure I have the um ability to get said game. So yeah, guys, with that being said, that is... Oh, also, I did forget to mention this. So I will mention that the PlayStation 5 is set to be released around the time of November. So about the time of Black Friday shopping time. So, yeah, guys. Yeah. So with that being said, make sure you got your game, make sure you got your money, definitely saved up, make sure you guys are completely ready, because, you never know when we are going to be having, the ability. So, yeah. So, with that being said, guys, that is the end of the live stream. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. So, peace, love you guys, and we'll see you guys next video.